Bruin season is here. So let's talk a little puck. Kind of, real two quick topics of, what your expectations are for the year, and then the player you're most excited to watch. But I'll kick it off. Expect them to be a playoff team again. I think, I was real high on the Marco Sturm hire. Actually, some might say I was first on the Marco Sturm hire.
True.
I was, that's who
He's
I
got
wanted. I was very, very happy that they got him. I think he's one of those kind of culture hires that's going to, he's great with the young guys. He knows what it's like to be here. So, I'm real excited to see what he does with the team. And then for player, I'm most excited to see, I'm really excited to see kind of the race for captain, but more so I'm focused on the McCavoy angle because he missed out on the end of last year. So seeing how he comes back healthy, I've loved everything that he's said in press conferences and interviews and everything. Just seems real hungry. I think that, the injury might be kind of a blessing for him and show how much he really is hungry for it. And you could see how much it hurt him to not be out there, even though they were, he wasn't missing like a cup run or anything. He just really wanted to be out there with the guys. So I'm excited to see how McAvoy bounces back this year.
Do you watch his, was it 32 Thoughts or 32 Questions with Elliot Friedman?
I didn't watch the whole thing. That's what I'm talking. I've seen a bunch of clips from it. I do want to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, he's just a stud, obviously.
Excited for what I believe will be the Swayman comeback. He can't, not only can he not have the year he had last year. What's that?
There he is.
Yeah.
He's ready.
The team won't be successful if he has that year again, but I feel like he won't let himself have that year again. So I'm excited. I like watching great goalkeeping. So that's what I'm the most excited for.
Yeah, I agree. I also think Swayman, I think I said it last week, he's going to have a big bounce back year. Having Hampus and Charlie back on the blue line is going to be huge.
Yeah. He'll see less shots for sure, which will help.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think Swayman will have a big year. Someone I'm hopefully excited for. I don't even know if we'll ever see him ever. Fabian Lysel. I really was hoping that he would make this lineup to start the season. Doesn't look like he's going to, since I think we acquired 10 bottom six forwards this offseason, so it's going to be tough to crack that lineup, but really hoping we get to see him at some point, because if we don't this year, then I don't know how long the experiment goes on for, because he's only getting older and he's just racking up games in Providence. Yeah. So would like to see him at least get some play in the big show, but that's who I'm excited to see. But I feel like maybe if we do see him, it might not be a good sign for the Bruins season. So it's kind of don't really know.
Well, him being a bottom six guy, if they see him, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. It's just, somebody's underperforming on that bottom end. So, it's or hurt, but it is possible, I guess, to still be able to root for it without rooting for, the failure of the Bruins.
Yeah, definitely not rooting for that. Yeah. But I was hoping to see him make the roster, but it doesn't look that way. Also, I have to shout out my boy Sean Corrali. Happy to see him back.
Girls.
That's a great signing.
Put one in the other night.
Yeah, he'll do that a couple times this year for sure.
Yes, back where he belongs for sure. Definitely, always looked weird seeing him play for the Blue Jackets. I would forget that he was there. Then you'd watch a Blue Jackets game, and it's like, holy shit, what's he doing there?
Yeah, he got a little paycheck, and then he's like, all right, let's go back.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you got?
I got a few names. Top of the list, Nikita Zadorov. I know a few people that listen to this podcast, not huge fans of Nikita Zadorov. So I'm looking forward to, him having the year, Bruins making the playoffs, and him making the impact that he was brought onto this team to make. So I'm looking forward to that happening this year. I mean, we saw that walk-off overtime goal. Like he's going to be buzzing this year. So I'm excited to see that. He's not going to have to play the extra minutes that he was required to last year with, hopefully McCavoy and Lindholm being back. So they're not going to be asking too much of him. He'll be able to play his role. Looking forward to that. Then two new guys that I'm really looking forward to see what they can bring to the team. Victor Arvidsson. I think Pasternak doesn't lead the league in shots. It's going to be Victor Arvidsson. He shoots the puck. That's why we brought him in. He's going to have a million shots, probably 30 goals. It's just going to be incredible to watch. And then the last name that I'm going to say, Tanner Janeau. I know a lot of people weren't happy with the contract. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong this year, and hopefully he proves me right. I'm excited to see what he can do in the black and gold, and I think it's just going to be awesome. I think people are going to love Tanner Janeau. Yeah, I'm a big Kastelik fan, and I think Janeau and him are just going to be bruisers down there in the bottom six, and I think people are going to be like, why did I think that this was a bad signing? So I hope that I'm right with that, but I just think that it's going to be awesome. I think he could be 15, 20 goal scorer as well. People are going to need to score in this Bruins team if they're going to make the playoffs. I forget what my take was. Was it 5 20-plus goal scorers? Was that what I said?
You had a high number of multiple goal scorers, yeah.
I think it was 5 20-plus was the take. I meant to look it up before, but I still believe that that's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm excited for the puck to drop.
Five is very doable.
Yeah.
With this role.
I don't think they've done it for a long time.
Yeah, it was probably like,
I think last year they had 2.
It was probably like
last year was a down year.
Well, yeah, but still.
Yeah, I love it. I think that the Jeannot thing really took a life of its own, and people just like, it's like Nickelback. You feel like you're supposed to hate it because everyone hates it, and it's like, if you take a look back and you look at the player, it's like, it's not your money, and if you don't have to pay him, it really shouldn't matter. I know that it's money that could be spent elsewhere, but just look at the player, and it's like, it's the kind of guy we need. And Frederick obviously cost more money, and it's like, would you rather have paid that for Frederick or get save a little money for this guy? And I'm excited to see what he can do. Arvidsson, great call there. Really kind of, I don't think getting enough attention for the kind of player that he is. So I think he could, really, like you said, he shoots the puck, and the Bruins that's been their thing. It's like they've had, some goal scorers, but it's like, it almost has to be perfect. You need guys that just put shots on net, and they haven't had, enough of those guys over the past couple of years. So I'm excited for Arvidsson as well.
Love Charlie Coyle, but he probably could have been a 30-goal scorer 5 years if he just shot the puck. Just need guys to shoot the puck.
Yeah, another name to watch out for is Fraser Minten. We got him from the Carlo trade from the Leafs. I mean, we have a pretty good history of getting players in the Leafs that turn into studs in the black and gold. So I know when he was traded, a lot of Leafs fans were very upset that he was a part of it. I mean, he could have a breakout season, and if he does, that's huge for the Bruins.
Mark Mellis.
Yeah.
Mark Mellis, Patra. I think these guys. Isamont, I think that he could be solid. Like we're building, like it's like we've had this like top 6 that's elite. We've built like a Stanley Cup playoff run bottom 6. But unfortunately, we just don't have the top 6 there.
Well,
like, Casey Middlestat, like, we'll see.
Get there come trade deadline, and then who knows what could happen.
Yeah, we bring in McDavid, and we're